Hello everybody and welcome to game number 2 of the Losers Bracket semifinals between Complexity's NaNiWa and Gamania Bear's Sen on Shattered Temple. This is the Losers Bracket semifinals at the BlizzCon 2011 Invitational, and spawning at the top at 12 o'clock we have as the red Zerg Sen, and then spawning in close positions at 9 o'clock as the green Protoss, Complexity's NaNiWa. Now, let's talk a little bit about close positions. It's really a shame that Blizzard, at their Invitational, decided to have close positions on the ladder map. It's going to create a certain amount of imbalance. It's thought to be very difficult for Zerg to win in close positions, especially against Protoss, just because this rush distance right here is so short. You can see here, Sen is scouting the wrong way. NaNiWa immediately scouts the proper direction. He's going to see that Sen is in close positions. I wouldn't be surprised if NaNiWa changes his mind and does some sort of fake Forge expand into maybe 4 or 5 gate pressure. It's just going to be very powerful on these close positions. But maybe NaNiWa will prove me wrong and he'll decide to go for some type of a macro. It's all gonna probably depend on what NaNiWa sees Sen is doing. Sen went 14 full, leading to NaNiWa dropping down the Forge. Maybe we'll see a normal game from this. Maybe this might actually end up being an alright game. We'll find out though. Statistically though, it's very hard for Zerg to win in close positions. You almost never see standard games just because something like an early Roach Ling pressure off of 1 or 2 base is always going to be very powerful coming from the Zerg, again because of the short distance. As a Protoss, I wouldn't be surprised to see very fast War Brigade pressure, because even without a proxy pylon the distance is very tiny. You can see that NaNiWa, perhaps in deference to the map architecture I guess, went Forge, then he went Photon Cannon, and finally is going to drop down the Nexus. Again, Sen did the double extractor trick to get out the very fast 4 Zerglings. It didn't work out for him last time, where in terms of being able to slip into the main, and I don't think it will here. The cannon is already up. He might have to, I guess he could try and sacrifice some Lings to get around, but I think going in terms of like this path into the main is just going to be too costly in terms of Ling buys, and not. Sen is getting up the quick third. I don't think taking the quick natural. He took out the pylon that NaNiWa dropped, but I don't think taking the quick third is going to be an option here, because where is he going to take it? Destroying the rocks is not going to be viable because it's not going to come quick enough. The third is right here, and expanding to any of the other options without rocks is just going to be too far. And Sen is doing some damage to the Nexus. I don't think it'll be enough to kill it. You see here the brave little probe that could is actually doing some damage and loses his life in defense of the noble Nexus. But there is a photon cannon going up right here. It'll be enough to scare away the Zerglings. I don't think he's going to be defensive. But there's 2 probes coming down right now, perhaps to defend their noble master. And the Zerglings are trying to... Nope, the Zerglings are actually probably all going to lose their lives here. Over in Sen's base, Sen is getting a gas a fair bit earlier than last time. This isn't expected. There's going to need to be some type of two base push coming from Sen if he hopes to win this game. He's transferring over to the natural, and the harvester counts are even at 22. Over on NaNiWa's side of things, he's not getting the quick +1 this time. He's just making a gateway. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to stick to the sort of same game plan as last time, add on a couple gateways after this, then transition into a Stargate or two. Or if he decides to change it up, maybe go right into Stargate after this, transition into a quick Colossus, who knows? And NaNiWa will have to show us. Oh, Stargate is going down. Where is it? It is right in the middle of the main. I don't think Sen will be able to scout this. He does have this Overlord that was slowly making its way over here, but it appeared to stop at this seemingly random location. I suppose if NaNiWa decided to skirt around the long side of the map to get to Sen's base for some type of warp prism play. But it doesn't look like that's in the card. But either way, I don't think that Sen is going to be able to do any sort of direct scouting of the Stargate, so it'll remain to be seen if anything sort of clues him off. He is getting a very, very quick lair at the 6.5 minute mark. A lot of times you see Zergs delaying their lair to be much later. He's also gotten up a second gas, and a third gas, but without the fourth gas going up, I don't think something like Mutalisk is very viable due to their gas-intensive nature. It's possible that we could see something. Oh, I guess there's the fourth gas going up right there. It is. I'm not too sure how the timing on this will work out. So maybe Mutalisk are going to be viable. He could also be doing something like drop play, maybe Zergling Hydra drop play. He's getting up the Evo chamber probably for an upgrade. Hopefully he has this all timed down to the T where you see a lot of those upgrades going up. He also has these Zerglings sneaking in, shutting down mining off of these 2 patches because these pylons, or these cannons, none of them are actually providing protection there. Over on NaNiWa's side of things, we see him taking all 4 assimilators. He's getting out a second Void Ray from that Stargate, but he hasn't added on any gateways to this. So he's currently running on just 1 gate and 1 Stargate. I think that if, over on Sen's side, he's actually going to do some type of infestor play. It'll be interesting to see if this is something along the lines of what Destiny does, where he just sort of goes up to the front and tries to lob over a shit ton of infested Terrans, taking advantage of the fact that a lot of times Protosses after a Forge Fast Expand skimp out on units. I mean, you can see right now he has 1 Sentry and 2 Void Rays to his name. At the same time, he is trying to take out the back rocks right here, whether that's to expand or to have a second avenue of access to attack into the natural. I'm going to be leaning toward the second one. And oddly enough, he's getting ranged attack rather than melee attack, and he doesn't have any ranged unit production capabilities to his name. I wonder if that was a mistake, or if he's planning something zany that I just can't comprehend. NaNiWa is dropping down 3 more gateways. He's sort of into Robo Base, so he's getting up those production facilities so that he won't be caught unaware by an attack. But I think that if Sen had done some sort of Roachling aggression, or maybe Ling Hydra aggression, it could have been very effective. These short rush distance means that the Hydra's slow speed isn't going to be that big of a deal. I mean, you can see that the creep is already halfway between the naturals, so he would have been able to take out a bunch of these front buildings, maybe even shut down the natural, but alas, he's missed that opportunity. Over on Sen's side, we do see him making 5 Infestors, Pathogen Glands is done, and 20 Zerglings. And NaNiWa is just pumping out an Immortal, while at the same time he is getting the Robotic space. So we're going to be seeing some sort of Colossus-based play from NaNiWa with a backing of 2 Void Rays. I don't think these Void Rays have done anything. Over on the Resources Floss tab, we can see that NaNiWa has killed 1 worker, probably the Scouting worker, and Sen has killed 2. But Sen is massing up a fairly fearsome army for this stage in the game. But as soon as the Colossus start coming out, these Lings are going to be minimally effective, especially without any sort of upgrade. I think Sen just made a mistake. He's gotten this +1, or he saw something that made him change his mind as to the, course of action he wanted to take. But he has +1, and he doesn't have anything that's going to make use of it. He's also getting Burrow. This is pointing to some type of Infestor attack. The Burrow is done. He's actually moving right now to the natural. We're probably going to see something like what Destiny does, just lobbing those infested Terrans over, but I don't know if it'll work. I mean, he has a lot of cannons and he has Zealots that should be able to take it all out, especially, that was a very fast tossing of those islands, and I'm going to learn how to do that. So with all these infested Terrans, he's kind of just indiscriminately firing. There's no focus fire going on, and with the force field right there shutting down the Zergling run-by, it doesn't look like this attack is going to do a terrible amount of damage, especially with the Voiders being free to do damage. All of the infested Terrans, the vast majority of them are dead. He only has about 11 left. I think NaNiWa held this off brilliantly. You can see now that after this attack, Sen is getting the Roach Warren, but I think that NaNiWa has a very, very big opening right now to just go and do some significant damage. You can see that he only lost 900 units, where 900 minerals worth, resources worth of units, whereas Sen lost about 1,200, but Sen, you can see that his army is very low tech. He has those 6 Infestors, but they don't have very much energy. It looks like 50, 50, 50. All of them have about 50 energy. None of them have enough for the fungal growth, with the 75, I believe, and he just has a bunch of Zerglings, and the Colossus production that NaNiWa has made right now, he has 1 out and a second on the way, is going to be enough to take out all of these units. I think that Sen is going to be in trouble. He's making Aspire as quickly as he can, as well as Neural Parasite, but I don't know if it'll be enough. I don't know if it's going to finish in time, especially with NaNiWa kind of scouting these rocks being taken down. He's there to greet the Zerglings. NaNiWa's pushing out right now, and with I don't see Sen being able to hold this off with the. Oh, he's going for the giant counterattack. It doesn't look like he has anything other than a Zergling blocking off the hole. He's going to be able to take out this forge, but I think with NaNiWa warping in, he's going to be able to pull it out. He's going for the huge counter. NaNiWa is pulling back all of his forces, and Sen just takes the forge and runs away. Okay. Now NaNiWa is pulling back his forces a little bit late, I guess, but that really didn't do anything. He did buy him enough time, I guess, to get the 9 Corruptors. That should be sufficient to take out the... Ooh, no. NaNiWa is actually getting his 4th Colossus on the way right now. Those 9 Corruptors are probably not going to be enough to take out the 3 Colossus, 2 Phoenix, and 2 Void Rays that are out. And I don't think the 57 Slings and handful of Roaches and Infestors is going to be enough to take out this Deathfall. It's all going to depend on whether the Infestors are going to be able to get the Neural Parasites off, but with the decreased range, just doing so is going to put them in range of the Protoss army. So I think this is going to be lights out for Sen. If NaNiWa decides to push his advantage, I think the time to go is right now. He can't wait any longer because it's just giving more and more time for Sen to custom tailor his army to taking out this Deathfall. And Sen, feigned for the counterattack, but instead he's going to come back and meet the army. I don't like this positioning either. These two hatcheries form a natural choke for the against the Zerg army. You can see that there's a lot of struggling against the force field right there, and he only had to use 2 to cut off almost the entire army. This is going to be devastating for Sen. He's losing all of the Corruptors. They're not able to take out any of the Colossi. The Void Rays and Phoenixes have gone down, but at the same time, NaNiWa is retaining most of his army. Supplies are 142 to 105. This looks like it's going to be game over for Sen. He's not going to be able to remax in time. He's not going to be able to reload in time with any sort of meaningful unit that's going to be able to take out the units that NaNiWa has, and Sen somehow with 2-0 Roaches is able to take on the 1-0 army of NaNiWa and stay relatively even, but NaNiWa has a huge bank build-up. He's going to be able to do a lot of warp-ins, and he's able to, due to the strength of, due to the position, is able to take this this base very, very close to the natural of Sen, and just be a stone's throw away from doing damage, while at the same time he's able to defend very, very easily because of this small ramp. Sen is trying to commit some forces to attack up this ramp, but he's just going to GG out. He knows that the situation is too dire. 3 base Protoss, 2 base Zerg, not going to